Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
How much government regulation is too much? Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. The Grand Forks City Council is now considering an ordinance to outlaw drink specials like 3-for-1s. However, could that proposed ordinance spill over into other parts of our lives, like outlawing the advertisement of food specials? Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us what's happening.
A committee studied underage drinking and binge drinking and suggested an ordinance outlawing drink specials like 3-for-1s. McMenamy's Tavern now carries that special in the morning for folks who work the night shift.
So I think it's important to have the discussion to talk about changing the culture of binge drinking, both for underage people as well as all citizens of Grand Forks.
It's an issue that has the council taking some heat from bar owners. During last week's council meeting, a bartender brought up the position, well, if we're going to start limiting drink specials, what about all those restaurant specials? Obesity is a big problem in the United States, and a lot of us could stand to lose a little weight. All over Grand Forks, you can find restaurant specials to eat free, close to nothing, or specials that encourage all of us to eat more. But Councilman Dana Sandy says alcohol regulations will not spill over into the restaurant industry. He says they're only dealing with bars, which are regulated by liquor licenses.
We are looking at it as the perspective that we're already controlling it. We're trying to make sure that we're having the appropriate controls in place. I don't think this is a slippery slope. I don't think the two are related. I can't see, sure, maybe Michelle Obama wants to restrict what people can eat, what the students can eat in the Grand Forks public schools. That's the responsibility of the feds, not responsibility at the local level.
The debate over what bar owners can and cannot offer their customers is expected to heat up again next week. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
A public working session to further talk about this proposed ordinance is scheduled to take place right after next week's council meeting. They'll also talk about another ordinance aimed at making homeowners more liable for underage drinking parties. Well, it's not only cold out there, it's very windy. Gusts were reported up to 30 miles an hour at some point at some areas today. Let's go to Hutch now to see if the winds will die down tonight. Hutch?
Well, we are expecting a gradual diminishing of the winds, but they'll still be windy enough to cause some blowing and drifting snow. Not only that, the radar showing some new areas of snow making their way through the valley. Let's start you off with a regional picture, and we'll see that the I-94 corridor just having a little bit of light snow make its way through. Most of our cameras from the Department of Transportation not showing this to be a big deal, but a few flakes out there nonetheless. Heading out eastbound on I-94, some light snow possible between Fargo, Fergus, and even Detroit Lakes, with that other batch moving into Pennington County now in the Thief River Falls area, as well as northern Polk County. The planner for this evening shows temperatures fairly steady, Stephanie, in the mid and upper 20s. That's about 30 degrees warmer than we were this morning. So we're enjoying warmer weather, but the wind is something that kind of reminds us it's still pretty chilly out there. And very slippery with the blowing snow over the roads. So take it easy.
It is. Be careful out there. Thanks, Hutch. And also a reminder to always drive safe out there on these slippery roads after a car ran a red light and caused a crash. It happened this afternoon on University and I-94. 2 people had to be sent to the hospital for possible injuries. And everyone escaped injury in this multi-car crash in North Fargo this morning, but it did tie up traffic for a time on busy 12th Avenue North Bridge just west of NDSU. Police say traffic was stopped when the driver of a car plowed into the back of another, pushing it into another. It kind of was a little bit of a chain reaction. At least one of the vehicles had to be towed from the scene. In Washington, a partial shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security now looks likely. President Barack Obama warned today that we can't play politics with our nation's security. He's focused on taking advantage of the terror concern in Minnesota. At the huge Mall of America, the crowds were pretty light there today. And in case of trouble, there were lockdown drills. Thousands of Somalis do live in Minnesota, but only some have left to join al-Shabaab. The Secretary of Homeland Security urged caution at the mall and on Capitol Hill.
In these challenging times in particular, most unfortunate that there's even a possibility of a shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security.
An al-Shabaab team at a mall in Kenya had killed more than 60 people in 2013.
It's our day-to-day lives, and we rely on plastic card a lot.
Reaching into your wallet for a credit or a debit card has basically become second nature, and scammers know that, leading to more and more data breaches. The impact isn't just national. Many right here in the Valley have been ripped off.
Someone actually made a physical copy of it, and then we're using it at Target here in town.
Well, tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, we dig into why the U.S. is seeing more data breaches and how your bank is protecting you. And if you ever need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our Whistleblower Hotline, and we'll do our very best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576. Leave your tip, and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth. Some kids got an extra few hours in the day to just be kids. Classes were let out early this afternoon at Horizon Middle School because of a plumbing issue around 1:30 this afternoon. The decision was made to evacuate the school since they could not use any water or the bathrooms. But buses did run their scheduled routes.
We found it about 5 different areas. We don't know yet what happened, or if it was, frozen ground or what it was. But it wasn't too bad. It's kind of minimal. We caught it early enough that I think we can take care of it pretty quick.
Classes are expected to continue normal on Tuesday. Well, exercise is important to maintain that healthy life, and learning to be healthy at an early age is crucial. The state of North Dakota has proposed new physical education standards, and they want the public's opinion. The standards list physical skills that a young person should have at certain grade levels. For example, a second grader is expected to be able to run and kick a moving ball several times and catch a larger ball with his or her hands. You can share your opinion on the North Dakota Department's website. Their page, the deadline is to submit, is on April 20th. Well, the University of North Dakota has a lot of candles to blow out soon, and to celebrate, they're putting on a week's worth of Spirit. It's Spirit this week at UND, and the celebration is held to honor those who have contributed to the university since it was established back in 1883, ending on Friday the 27th with UND's 132nd birthday. The week is filled with several other activities, including today, which is Media Monday. You can post photos of your favorite places or experiences at UND using the hashtag MyUND and UND Spirit. And share with us your school spirit. Post your favorite UND pictures on our Valley News Live Facebook page. Just search Valley News Live and like our page. Nothing like a little friendly competition to raise money for a great cause. The Battle of the Census began on NDSU's campus today, and every penny counts. The battle pits the College of Pharmacy, Nursing, and Allied Sciences ambassadors against the College of Engineering ambassadors. It's a week-long fundraising event, and all change collected during the competition counts positively toward each group's total, and paper bills are subtracted from every group's total. This year, all the money raised will go towards Bryn Hamry. It's a 1-year-old who's already undergone 2 open-heart surgeries. Hamry is the daughter of Kelly Hamry, an NDSU senior lecturer of interior design.
She was born with a heart defect, has had to have 2 open-heart surgeries already in her life, and a third is possible in the near future. So we just really want to make a difference in her life and help with all the medical costs.
This is the 5th annual Battle of the Census. Last year, they raised more than $4,400. Congratulations, guys.
What so proudly we held.
Listen to that angelic voice. That's the voice of Mark J. Lindquist, a nationally recognized motivational speaker, world touring entertainer, and actor, singing the national anthem at the senior night for NDSU men's basketball. Auditions for next season's The Voice are swooping around the country right now, and he tried out with his father this past weekend in Chicago, but unfortunately didn't make the cut. Lindquist is not the only local one shooting for the big leagues. MSUM graduate Casey Gauthier and Kindred native Joseph Blind Joe Bommersbach, and this season The Voice airs tonight. Well, have you ever wondered what a TV station looks like behind the scenes? We have an inside look at what goes on to making TV magic here. Christy Larson finished her Up Before the Sun series this month, and it was a behind-the-scenes look here at KVLY. She looked at the different components that it takes to put on a newscast and answered some common viewer questions, like how early do the Valley Today crew people get up? Well, the answer is pretty early. Christy gets up at 2:30 a.m. Lisa, Mick, and Kyle get around 3 a.m. If you'd like to see the full story, just head to valleynewslive.com. It's a good one. Well, still ahead for us at 5, how a man who hasn't been able to see anything for 10 years is getting a chance to see his wife and family again.
Temperatures are on their way up over what we started our day with, but we've seen gusts over 40 miles per hour. Your hour-by-hour forecast includes a chance of snow, and the cold air is returning. I'll have all those details next.